Hey, what's up, guys? Stop the cap, stop the cap. It's stop capping. I'm back here with another game talk. Yesterday, I uploaded and finished Borderlands 3 version of the game. Um, Last week, some days ago, I did review Division 1. A lot of my friends and family wanted me to play Division 2 right off the bat. I was like, no, no, I got to play and get through Division 1 to understand, well, not just understand, but also experience the game. There's a lot of games I like to play, but I like to usually play the series as a whole, and don't leave anything out of context. Or I hate being the victim of, oh, you gotta play this game to understand this game. Do you need Division One to understand what's going on with Division Two? Yeah, of course, because then you're not gonna. I mean, if you're coming in fresh, and I'll put it to you this way: if you want to know everything that has to go on with the story, yes, you need to play 1 to 2. If you played the second game right off the bat, and you're more curious to be like, oh man, I wonder what the prequel is like, or what the how this came to light and all that stuff. And then yes, you need to watch and play the first games. Yes, it is possible to dive into this game and play this game and experience it. But I feel to get the entire experience, play Division One, beat it, and play Division Two. You don't have to even do all the DLC. I didn't do any of the DLC for the first game, but for the second game, I did the DLC, the Battle for New York, because right now it's currently free until early April, sometime early April. So look it up. If you have Division 2 right now and you're playing the game, get as far as you can in the campaign, or defeat the campaign, and then get over to that Brooklyn, the Brooklyn, not the Battle for Brooklyn, but the Warlords of New York. It's called the Warlords of New York DLC. That's free until the end, to the beginning of April. So get the Warlords of New York DLC. It's free. Play through that. Once you defeat the DLC in the story, then your character goes into this Paragon stage once they level cap at 40. And then you're able to still increase your level up system for that game. So without further ado, let me go start with this game. This game came out in March Madness 2019. So almost like what, 7 years ago now. So yeah, 7 years ago. Is also went through the 10-year celebration event for because of Division One. It came out 2016. So there was also a event also for the Battle Pass and all that stuff with Division Two. If you want to look more stuff up, look it up online. And this is my current character right now. A big difference from the character that I have in the first game. But I really like the model and what I was going for. To me, this character that I created right now was very inspired by Metal Gear 5. Oh, no, not Metal Gear 5. I'm sorry, Snake Eater. Especially Snake Eater Delta, with the remake, the remaster basically, that came out with all the new updated graphics. They added more little stuff here and there too, for the gamers, and more Easter eggs. But it's a gorgeous game if you haven't played it, and this is also a great game too. But this game also has its flaws, so let's get to it. So for this game, instead of you being in New York City, this time you're in Washington, D.C., the capital. So you get different perspectives of right now. In the first game, you're in Manhattan, New York, where I'm from originally. And the second game, you're in Washington, D.C. And you're seeing how right now, which is very specific night and day, on how the locals here deal with their version of the pandemic, and how they're adapting to their lives. So, such as in this game, you still have safe houses that you look out for. I would say that the first game is a lot friendlier in the eyes and looking for safe houses, even though I'll show you with the touchpad, the map is a lot more better and a lot more cleaner interactively to touch, to go and select what you want to do. The biggest difference is now you have strongholds instead of encounters in the game. So in the first game, you're able to level up your tech, your medic, and your shield. Like security protocols in New York. They were spread out throughout the whole part of the map. A lot of side missions. You still get a lot of side missions, which is great. But also, unfortunately, you have strongholds, which you do liberate, but for whatever reason, there's like a weekly reset. And also for the strongholds, they also get reset if the problem is if you gather enough resources. The problem would be that the resources will eventually diminish, and you would have the AI or the ads, the villains in the game, retake over. They'll take over or reconquer the control points that you just liberated. I feel, in my honest opinion, once you liberate a control point or a certain sector of the city, you should definitely it should definitely be by default. Everything should be under control. Everything should be liberated. With especially in the first game, you're able to do all that stuff, and you were also able to look at your map and see how empty your map would be, knowing that the task is done, and then there's always another task for you to do, especially getting intel. Of course, in this game, there are not as many echoes or intel for you to pick up, which I did pick up a lot of that stuff. Even in New York, you have the DLC. I'll also show you the DLC too. This is the Battle for Brooklyn DLC, which I don't know how much you could get for this. Say right now, you could get this for less than $8. It'll be about probably like 8.20, 8.30 with tax. So right now, it's a really cheap DLC if you want to go get it. Also, what else? So what you want to do is you want to be able to finish the game as much as you can. I'll show you guys the White House. The White House is also your main center of operations. In the first game, your center of operations was the huge post office in New York City. I honestly believe that it should have been, in my opinion, either Grand Central Station or something with Central Park, even though you can't go to Central Park. I don't think you're able to go to Grand Central Station either. But what is cool though, you're able to have you do have a safe house around where the Penn Station fictional part of the Madison Square Garden areas. So that was cool. And me and my friends, my brother, also we were also predicting that the third game might be in Philly. That would be pretty cool if it was in Philly. There's a lot of history in Philly. You have the Liberty Bell. You can use the Liberty Bell Town Hall as your center of operations. I don't know, or maybe the football stadium for the Eagles. That would have been cool too. I don't know, or where the Phillies play the 76ers. There's a lot you could do with Philly. It's also one of the original colony states. But of course, my family and myself, we were talking about places like Las Vegas, Chicago. I said Orlando, Miami, since I'm now relocated in Florida. If there's even something in Texas, Dallas would be interesting as well. Put any comment of any city you think would benefit to let the game grow. They're eventually Ubisoft already said they're gonna make another Division 3. They just don't. We don't just don't know when. It can also be international too. We did say stuff like London, Paris, also Italy, which will be ironic to, or Spain, which would be ironic because Ubisoft also created the Assassin's Creed universe. And also with Watch Dogs started off in two distinct American cities, and then I think the third one, Watchdog Legion, was in England. If anyone can correct me on that. So if they want to take a little swerve on things, that's pretty great. So let me show you what else we got over here. Oh yes, and also I forgot to show you. Over here we got the battle, the Warlords of New York map. I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. So this is the Warlords of New York map right here. So you got your main missions over here. The game does take about I would say roughly 6 to 8 hours. If you power through the game, I would say 6 hours if you really speed run it. But if you're taking your time doing some side quests and all that stuff, you could definitely get it done between 6 to 8 hours with your crew. We do play on higher difficulties as well. And I've uploaded the campaign for Division 2 and the Warlords of New York on my channel for you guys to check it out. It was a pretty great game to play. In this game, it is totally different as well in terms of getting your skills. Over here, yes, you still have your quartermaster, but over here they talked about this is like your main hub where you get information on building up your skills menu. And also over here you got your vendors. What else you got? If you did optimization and tinkering in the last game or crafting, this is your crafting station right here. You get your blueprints in the game for weapons or equipment. This is your you do your tinkering station right here. Optimize your gear. Do that. What else is another thing you do here? I think you go upstairs. You also got vendors outside the White House. But this is a pretty cool spot here. Over here you got your bounties. This is good for end game stuff or in game stuff if you're playing within the game. You got your projects too. You got requirements. Sometimes you get like bonuses in the game if you complete certain tasks during the week. They always renew themselves. There's new projects. This one's gonna be every 13 hours. So last week, I did a project where if you went to the Manning Zoo in DC, to go to apparel, and you completed it under a certain difficulty, you got the panda keychain. See how cool that is? So it's like there's little things you gotta. I know sometimes a lot of these things could be it looks pointless to you, but if you just go through them slowly, read everything, check out the details, you might be able to see what rewards might suit you, what might not. And then obviously the bar there, the division bar and all that. The big circle, loading up your experience, showing your progress as well. And just like the other game, going out to the world and picking up all the resources you can, pick up everything, especially equipment. In this game, the level cap is at 40, and you always, regardless of what's going on, you always want to grind for gear. Now, the only thing that I will tell you, just like the first game, if you want to get exotic gear, which is top tier gear, for whatever reason, you always get the gear in lower attack power or lower defense power than you usually do in certain games, other games that you play, such as Destiny. If you got like Pinnacle gear, is always going to be a higher level gear than most of the stuff you got. But in order for you to get higher level gear, you just got to play everything on a higher level, okay? So once you play the game on a higher level and you're grinding for, let's say, an assault rifle, and then that's what you want to do, then you would most likely get an exotic assault rifle that's going to be in the pool, and or an exotic legendary one, and that's going to be your main reward, your pinnacle rewards. Also, compared to the first game, if you press up on your control pad, all these markings here are brands of different equipment for weapons or for gear, and they rotate every day. Okay, so if you're grinding for the best gear set, this is where you're going to be farming your places on the map, as well as in New York. New York is going to be the same deal, where you're going to go do the same thing, and I think it shows you on the map as well too. So let's put it right here to see this map. So yeah, so did they show it? Yeah. So also over here they show all the stuff that see over here is going to be assault rifles, and I don't know what other, this is other uh, gear as well, other brands of gear, but yeah, so this is what you want to do. So in this game, for DC, instead of going against the Rikers crew or the Last Man Battalion or the Cleaners, you are going against Black Tusk, which is the main terrorist group that you're going to be facing against. And also the street level enemies that you're going to be fighting against are going to be called the Hyenas. That's and they all wear like these hyena like masks. They basically are like copying a lot of the Purge looking like characters. So that's gives you a sense of what the characters pretty much look like. They look like characters on the Purge, trying to insurrect everything. Ironically, right? So so let me show you my character's gear right now. Let's see. So right now I have, the exotic backpack, the bike messenger. Right now I got all my green gear here for for defense. Built my guy to be more like a tank. This is the Aegis gear. Um, so if you look on the map, look at that right hand symbol on the right side. That looks like a triangle with three circles. That's the Aegis gear. Okay. And then for my weapons in this game right now, I'm rocking the assault rifle, the Maniac. What I like about the Maniac is if you burn through 2 clips of your magazine on the third time, it's going to give you a higher ammo capacity from reserves than you normally have. So let's say if my magazine only holds about like 100, let's say if my main magazine holds like about like 150 rounds, and then on my magazine, my general magazine is going to be 30 round minimum for each magazine for my ammo, my total amount of ammo. So my total amount of ammo is 150. My magazine is 30. If I burn through 230, what do you call it, magazines, right? On my third magazine, should give me about close to almost 100 bullets in my magazine. So it just basically does overflow. It overflows my magazine once I burn through my magazine twice. So and that's what I like about it, and it fairly has a good attack power. It's not the best attack power, but the perk, just having more ammo in your reserves and your magazine. Once you start burning the ammo, you're going to need to burn as much ammo as you can for DPS for your attack power. And for my light machine gun, I got the IWI Negav. It's just a really good light machine gun that I have. And what else do I got? And for my backup weapon, you're like your infinite pistols, or I got the backup boomstick is a smaller version of the exotic shotgun called the boomstick, and it's a 2 round saw-off shotgun. You do have infinite ammo when you go into the pistol range, the pistol spectrum of your weapon. But of course, the weapons are not really that strong unless you do a build for them that will guarantee them to be strong if you're out of ammo for whatever reason. And it is, in this game, you will burn your ammo. So over here, on where the watch is, right here, you get this division watch once you finish and eliminate all the missions of the enemies in the Warlords of New York. And this is where you continue leveling up your progress of your character. If you're just at level 40 right now and you never get to do the DLC, your character does plateau and your character stays in limbo, and your character will never get stronger unless they literally go into heroic or challenging stages to build up their gear. But in the meantime, when you're grinding for that gear and you finish the Warlords of New York DLC now, before it's no longer free, then you get to level up extra for your characters. I have friends and family that are right now in the 2000s, so they've been playing this game since like launch. Right now, I'm at level 22, and as you can see here, you have different spectrums of where you level up and where you can draw the more resources. So on the left side is the offensive side. So over here on the left box, you have weapon damage. It says critical hit damage over here, critical a critical hit chance. So this is the percentage of when you might get crits. Over here is going to be critical hit damage, and on over here is going to be headshot damage, which is really important because a lot of the times when you're fighting your enemies, you need to do headshot damage because that's where all the damage and basically all the bread and butter to make sure you take these guys out as quickly as possible. But for what I did for myself, I did weapon damage. Okay, so on the lower spectrum, left hand spectrum, is going to be utilities. This is going to be focusing more on like your skill base. So on the bottom part here, I got skill damage, which I use for my turrets. So I'm leveling up my skill damage because the skill damage is pretty useful for my turrets in the game. You got your skill duration, meaning how much time you could abuse your skills your turrets or any of your other skill tree stuff could be out for the maximum amount of time. You got skill haste is when you have your cooldown and you want to make sure that you have as much cooldown as possible. If you're going to do that build, if you want to keep spamming your skills, that's something I would do after, if you're doing something that's non-lethal, I would, like as a healer or something that, using other tools to help do more damage, or, you want to do more of a cheese, use skill haste. But since I'm using a turret, I want to make sure I maximize as much skill damage as possible, as much DP as possible, until I invest something in skill haste. And then you also got skill repair. Skill repair is really good if you're focusing on um, skills that focus with all your different tools, from your skill tree, items or other equipment that you will acquire to also do healing. So there's going to be other skills, just like in the first game, like the support, like the support station. Even though they don't have the support station anymore, they replaced it with other things, which I'm going to show you as well. Is going to do skill repair. So skill repair is just going to basically help you amplify more healing capabilities. So that's going to be really essential for someone that's focusing on a healing build, if they're playing solo or if they're playing with a team. For myself, even though I do use, I have the healing drone right now for one of my skills. Right now, I'm focusing mostly on damage first and then healing. But if it was up to me, if it was the other way around, I would focus more on skill haste. So I have my healing drone and my turret out more, and then I will focus on skill repair. But you can also do skill repair then skill haste. But either way, I feel like any of these um, four modes of skill points putting into your skills is really good. The next one over here on the upper right is going to be more like resistance or healing. So what we're going to do here is on the top left side, on the top right side of this, on the watch skill tree, is the health. This is for me to get more health in the game. The more health you get in the game, the longer you stay alive. Period. I'm already put 4 points into that, and I'm gonna put another point into that right now. So you hold right, and you hold X, and then there you go. You lower it up. So you have total health. You got explosive resistance. So it just means you get more defense against explosive attacks. Hazard protection. This is good against like status effects, chemical attacks, things that will do debuffs to you or hurt you along the way, such as like catching fire, bleeding still. And then over here is going to be total armor. So you have a health bar and you have an armor bar. The more armor you have as well, also, it's also good to have armor. But I also focus on the armor build right now with my equipment rather than this skill tree. Now, if you went with a striker build, which is considered with that was if you used the striker set, if you acquired your equipment and used the striker set, which is the DPS set, and is more attack based than being is the total opposite of being attack tank, then yes, I would say focus your skills on building this because you're going to need as much armor as possible if you're going to be running striker for just offense. And I would worry about this. I will alternate between health and armor if you're going to be leveling up this skill tree whenever you get the points available. Okay, so just put your mind at ease on that. On the lower right, I would say this is for your handling. Okay, so we already covered offense, utilities, and defense. This is handling. So what did I level up here on handling? So you got your accuracy, you got your reload speed, which is really good. Reload speed is important. You got stability. Yes, you do get a lot of recoil in this game. So this will be stability for all of your weapons, mind you. And also on the last one is going to be ammo capacity. For me, like I said, when you go on certain missions solo or you go on a team, you're going to see that compared to the first game, in this game, you have to be literally out on the streets, or you have to be in facilities or buildings where you're doing missions. You're always going to be refilling your ammo in the restock box. I think the only time you refill ammo in in the safe house, I think the only time you do that is when you do the Warlords of New York storyline. And or if you or also when you're doing also if you're doing missions where you going off site when you're using the pilot to go to like the Pentagon or the Capitol, and when you're doing more of these big side missions, because you have to fast travel to those areas, and it's not going to be within the main Washington D.C. map. They will have restocks places because you'll see once you play the level, especially if you go to New York, there's going to be the Coney Island missions as well. There's gonna be restock areas there as well. They have their own safe houses there, so you can restock on your weapons and check on your gear and your stashes before you complete those missions. All right. So, and over here, the last part right here is going to be scavenging. So this is going to be really important for your character if you're going to be grinding, and you're also going to be what do we call it? I can't select it right now because I don't have the option. But scavenging is a skill point where you can scavenge for money and different resources, materials for you to craft your items or to level up, your optimize your weapons as well. So once you have certain traits of weapons, you also want to customize them. So if you go to Tinkering Station, let's say we got Tinkering Station. So this is your library. Library is really important for customization. So what you want to do is, let's say if I'm a person that uses an assault rifle, I go to core attributes, and I extract certain attributes such as assault rifle damage or health damage from other assault rifles that has this perk. But just to remind you, if you start extracting core attributes or perks from weapons that are in your inventory, once you extract them, they're gone forever. So be really careful. You're not extracting stuff from weapons that are high tier meta weapons, because you might need that high tier meta weapon. If you want to switch or sandbox the way your character is going to be set up. If for whatever reason, if you can't find the core attributes to extract weapons, you can go to attributes as well. So, for instance, let's see if there's anything to extract today. There might be not here. Let's see. I think I did everything I could for this. I think for the assault rifle. How about light machine gun? Is there anything to extract for the light machine gun? Oh yeah, here we go. So I got a reload speed extraction. So there is this, yeah. So there is this machine gun called Dare. So if I extract this, look how much is going to give me though. It's not going to give me a lot. So I rather wait for. Yeah, screw it. Let's see, because I'm pretty sure I got a good machine gun already. So yeah, my thing is like at almost level 90. So you know what? I'll extract the poor bastard. So I'm gonna go to library. Well, here, go to attributes. Where's my reload speed? Here we go. And then I'll extract the poor bastard. So look, it's giving you a warning that it's extracting. It's gonna destroy this weapon. But now I got the maximize 9.5 reload speed. All right. Also, you could do the same thing for gear. You could extract attributes from your gear, and then later on you could equip those stuff. You could equip those attributes. You could optimize and recalibrate that stuff onto your equipment. So if you see for my masks, for example, I extracted as much armor that I can, and I got right now 142.5k of armor for my mask. But I need to, for me, in order for me to get more armor for my mask, I'm gonna have to look or acquire masks that has the armor perk. So right now, there's nothing in my inventory that has the armor perk for me to extract it to its full potential. And if I go to my attributes, because I have other masks in my inventory. Can I extract a required? No. So right now I have nothing else to extract for my mask. But let's say if I had to extract something like armor regen, which is basically to regenerate your armor, this is something that I would like to put on my character if I maxed out. So for you to, let's say if we want to maximize that perk, let's say if I'm able to maximize and extract full armor regen, then I will have to go to R1 and go to tinkering. Then I would just go over here and then press X. And then let's say if I had armor region here for whatever reason, and then I would replace that. Armor region would be on the right side, but right now it says weapon damage. So if I went to weapon damage right now and I wanted to transfer this, right? Um, so you got to remember too, in this game is very unforgiving as well. So when you get currency in this game, just like in Division in New York, everything costs a lot. So you always got to be constantly doing missions, replaying missions or do strongholds and other side missions and team up with your buddies, do raids, do summits. Summit is like if you like the movie The Raid, Summit is like a mini raid where it's basically a gauntlet. You go from floor to floor. There's 100 floors in total. So sometimes what my cousins and my friend do, they go up to like they do like 25 floors or whatever. There are certain floors that cap and they have like save points. So it saves your progress, but it's like a weekly reset as well. So you got to do as much floors as possible till you can reach 100 before it resets like every week. So mind you, if I want to recalibrate this weapon with weapon damage and take out the armor that I have for my tank build, is going to cost me about 5,000, 5,200 of my money. It looks like Bitcoin, so we'll call it Bitcoin currency for Division. And then it's going to go through you see all the little resources that I have. So it says show resources. So this is what the resources that you got over here. So you got stuff from fabric, receiver components, steel, ceramics. You got different materials from different just from different what do you call it, supply boxes, different resources from boss fights, raids, side missions. That's why I'm saying, like, every time if you're struggling for resources, you're doing one or two things wrong. You're either blowing your resources without even like considering like the consequences of why you're blowing those resources, and if you're investing on the wrong thing, or number two, you totally did not raid any of the boxes or open any of the boxes along the way. Boxes that are on the side of the street, boxes where you're in some cache, boxes if it's outside like a safe house, boxes if you're on a mission and you're fighting enemies. Once you clear a room full of enemies, or maybe there's also a secret room of a cache of equipment that you could go through. And like I said, like, yeah, side missions, end missions. Even if I finish a mission, for whatever reason, they tell me to exit the mission area, I always go back a room or two or a floor. I go up and down the floor with the elevator or the staircase, and maybe I need to go pick up that cell phone collectible like in the first game, and then maybe there's also boxes of resources there. So boxes of resources are still more or less the same. There are going to be in little tough boxes or little backpacks, you know. And then in this game for weapons, you got your submachine guns, shotguns, pistols, sniper rifles, light machine guns, regular assault rifles. You got your single shooting rifles, semi-auto rifles, and that's pretty much it there. And then for expertise, what you want to do for expertise, if you have been using a weapon for a long amount of time, if you're proficient with the weapon, and then you're able to level up that weapon. So let's see if I'm able to level up the Maniac right now. Am I able to level up the proficiency of the Maniac? That's the weapon I have right now. So it says upgrade. I could upgrade the weapon, but I need to get more proficiency. Also, when when you sell your items, or if you deconstruct your items for resources, such as like if I go here for whatever reason, say, let's see if I have something more expendable here. So let's see these two are expendable, right? I press R2, mark it as for donation, mark it as donation. So when you do stuff like this, not only that you're getting materials, but you're also doing the expertise for your backpacks or your weapons. And when you level up your expertise for your weapon, that's what you want to do. You get more perks for leveling up your expertise on equipment. So let's see if I could do that right now. So let's see if it's been a while since I did it. So, and what's cool about this game, that's why it's very important for you to have sets. So if you have sets, you could expertise your brand of equipment. See this? This is all your brand of equipment that you have. So if I go down more, I go to Aegis. That's my equipment that I have my based on. So what I want to do is let's say if I want to upgrade my, let's see, I upgrade my backpack. No, I can't upgrade this yet. Can't upgrade it yet. I haven't got more. See, so if you see my expertise level, I still have 50 more points to go to expertise level 2. So once I do that, then I can upgrade it and then get basically more higher tier stuff. Okay. And also, let me show you the front of the. Let's see. I'm going to show you the skill tree area. So this is for end game content and also the beginning of the game. So for the beginning of the game, you're going to be getting, like currency for your characters to unlock skills, and also what do we call it? Equipped anything that you can to help complete your mission. So when you're in the in-game area, you're going to unlock specializations, right? So I got the demolitionist one. Each one over here has different skill trees for whatever build you're trying to get. Okay, so you have like for instance, if you're going to be a DPS person, or you're going to have your strike build, or whatever the case may be. If you want to issue out just nothing but damage, you want to use the gunner, right? If you want to use a person that does like more skill-based stuff, so yeah, you could do stuff where if they want to focus on healing, if they want to focus on using more support, using more support items like EMPs. What else they got? And they also have different passive skills. Everyone has different passive skills. You can level all that up. You can also do respect element, where if you hold square, you basically you can reset your tree and build your tree however you want. For my guy, my demolitionist, what I did for myself was, let's see, yeah, I upgraded things where I could get more mods and upgrades for putting specs on my light machine guns or my weapons. This one, I get pulse resistance when armor's reduced to 0. All main weapons clips. Yeah. Um, I get automatic refills of all main weapons. Get refilled. What else I get? Demolition is to be active. So over here for my artillery, since I use my turret a lot, my turret launches ordnance like missiles. My mod increases turret ammunition count, so it gets more of a magazine. My turret mod does more damage, and so on. So like I said, each skill tree that you choose is different, and also you get a special weapon for each skill tree. So for mines, I have the grenade launcher. For survivalists, they have like the crossbow with the exploding tips. For sharpshooter, they get this high tech TAC 50C sniper rifle. So, if they're playing solo or they want to play the long distance game, with no timer against them, then, they could go for that. And also you get skill points. So you get skill points and you get currency to unlock your skills. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So you're going to go to inventory and you're going to go over here where it says skills, all right? So you also could do the tinkering station as well for your skill trees. So over here you have you unlock these guys over here for the DLC, the Warlords of New York. So a lot of these bosses that you fight have their own their own skills that they want to use against you. But which is pretty funny since in the first game you do start off with the sticky bomb, but a lot of people realize that the sticky bomb is pretty broken. Well, not pretty broken, but it was pretty cheap at the beginning of the game. Instead of using your medic station or your support station, now they have this thing called a hive, which is pretty cool. I can show you what that looks like. And so they all have different skill trees. So what do you call it for all these different skills? Let's see, inspect. Let's see if could they do the thing where they show you the video. No, they don't show you the video, but they do have like little tutorials, which are pretty cool. So for the tutorial here for healing, this one has the basic healing. This one does micro drones, like nanomachines, and they start attacking using like mini explosives on the enemy. So it's like a bunch of it looks like a swarm of explosive bees. This hive med station thing here, it helps revive you when your character is down, or if it helps revive other allies as well. And this one over here is the booster. It gives like a basically increase of weapons handling, helps from debuffs and melee damage. But as you can tell, no one uses this crap. It's bad. And then you also unlock this for the technician side. Sends out micro drones that expend themselves to increase allied skill efficiencies, refresh the duration periodically, and releases the drone's holster effect on your skills. So this basically says that it increases the skill power of your skills and also reduces your cooldown. It refreshes your cooldown to start spamming your skills. So this is good if you have like a fourth person that's like a wild card in your group, and if the other three people are really proficient with their skills, whether it's healing or anything that's offensive, that's a pretty cool thing to do. For my turret, I have the basic attacking turret. You have the flamethrower turret. Which got nerfed too, because in the first game, if you had the flame throwing turret, it had ridiculous range, and it would stay out there as long as it can until the time duration's off. What I would do too is I would put the turret behind me, and anyone that tried to do a sneak attack on me, the turret would just fry them. If you saw my Division 1 review, I did an example of that, and it was funny because on the fly, someone got burned by my turret, and I was even planning that, but I was just showing the fact that you have to be one step ahead in this game when you're fighting your enemies, because the game is very unforgiving, like math. If, any type of mistake that you do, you don't find the right cover, you don't have the right strategy, the game is going to make you pay for it. Also, one new skill that's pretty cool too, I never got to use it, but I've seen it in action with my friends. Since I had like the turret, I had the regular turret. My brother or my other friend had the flamethrowing turret, which has, but they were able to walk around. They were able to use a loophole to make a good flame turret build. which it really devastates an enemy. But you have to look it up on yourself on how to do that. The flame turret build. But the sniper rifle build is pretty awesome. One, you need to get a good cover and also a good angle for you to shoot it, because the worst thing you could happen is you can have someone behind cover or multiple people behind cover, and it'll just start shooting the wall or the cover, and it's not gonna be shooting anybody. It won't, and it'll be cool too if you had this weapon behind you also, so it gives you cover fire from people trying to run up on you, and then your sniper rifle will be able to take out um, any enemy. But the only catch is you have to rotate your camera all the time, and then you have to target and label. You have to label a target so your turrets can attack them. Okay. But now for the flame turret, that's really bad in this game. If you throw your flame turret out, um, for whatever reason, it has like a small timer on it, and then once it just blows its flame, and it has a very small radius of attack window, attack range, and then it just explodes. So it's a waste. It's a waste. It's a waste. Also, what's pretty cool about this one too, you have your artillery turret. It shoots like mortar rounds, which is pretty cool. I had a friend of mine in my clan that uses this. Also, what we got here is the chemical gun. So you got your one chemical gun that what do you call it? It does a good amount of damage. It's like acid. It hurts your enemies. The second one here is your fire starter, where you shoot a chemical, and then you shoot you shoot a bullet, or you have an explosive that follows up to that, and it will create a burn explosion. It will create a chemical explosion with burn on it. This I would say is like more of the cheaper one to use right here. You could pick your poison with either of the two. You have your riot foam, which if you use this foam on the enemy, it would immobilize the enemy. It's kind of like the shock turret in the first game. If you have a shocking turret, it doesn't really do any damage, but it will paralyze your victims, and they won't be able to do anything. But the shocking turret is a lot better because it's more consistent, and it'll keep shocking you, rather than the riot foam. Once you shoot them, once they break free out of it, there's nothing you can do after that. You can only immobilize them for a short amount of time. But like I said, it depends on what type of build, what type of team you want to do. So if you want a guy who's a wild card on your team, and he shoots the riot foam, so the other members of your team that has the highest level of DPS or skills to take that boss down, so be it. If he needs to be a sitting duck, destroy him. And this one right here, the oxidizer, this is the cheapest chemical weapon in the game. Of course, it doesn't have a big window where you shoot it, but when you shoot it, it literally helps melt the enemies. It melts through armor, melts through health bars. You just got to be able to use it. What I would do is, if I was somewhere like on the higher ground level, or somewhere like on the second floor level, and they're on the ground level, that's where I would use it. If you use it on the ground level, if you miss this, if you miss this shot, not only that you're going to give yourself away, but also you might compromise your position and your team's position as well, and then you're going to have to wait for another cooldown for this attack to happen. Also, the seeker mines come back. Of course, you got your the ones that do attack power. You have the one that does air. It launches in the air to its target and has an explosive burst in the air. And then you also have the cluster ones that splits into smaller ones while exploding. So they also may get an individual enemy, but this one will also attack like multiple enemies. And then you have the survivalist version, where you have the seeker that heals and repairs armor for yourself or and allies units as well. So I thought this was a pretty cool one, but you know you have to unlock the tech the you have to unlock the survivalist skill in order to get to unlock this skill. Okay, and then we got the drone. My favorite, one of my favorite skills in the game. The drone is you know you get your regular striker drone that has bullets. Over here you got your defender drone, which helps deflect bullets. Um, this one is more of a shield, if anything, which is pretty cool. But you know, it's at the same time, there's better things. For the third one, you got the bombarder. This one throws out miniature explosives, so it has like a payload. It just keeps shooting rockets um, at it. Drops bombs at its enemies. When you face the enemy version of this game, it's really annoying. You got the fixer drone, which is my which is my go-to drone. This is the one that heals you and also heals your armor, of course. And then we got the tactical drone, which is the sharpshooter drone. You have to use the sharpshooter class to unlock it. Okay, so this is like basically the sniper drone. All right, let's see if I'm able to. Am I able to tinker these guys? Let me see if I'm able to. Can I level up these guys? Let me see, expertise. Can I use the expertise from my drone yet? I think I can. Or barter. Oh yes, fixer, finally. Insufficient level. Oh, so I already leveled it up to, I already did level 1, so I'm waiting for level 2. My turret, did I do my turret yet? Yeah, same thing. I already upgraded that, so I gotta wait for level 2. All right. Yeah, but without further ado, let me show you some enemies I gotta hurt. Let's see the closest control point over here. I'll say over here is a good control point. So this is what a control point looks like once you liberate it. You get all the you pick up all the resources here. Pick up all the resources, and then you pick up this loot box that has a lot of weapons and armor. Okay, so that's every time you liberate a control point. All right. So over here are my officers. These are your control point officers. And let's see. I don't know if my officer is on top. Here we go. So what you want to do is every time you take over a control point, you want to make sure they have abundant resources, so it keeps the control point active. But in my opinion, like I said, I wish that you could keep, you know, once you liberate this or once you max it out, you don't have to go any further. But unfortunately, that's not the case. If your control points lose resources, they could be overrun and taken over by the hyena groups or any other group. See, let me see if I can find any villains here. I find some right there. So I'm gonna put on my drone. Oh no, here we go. There we go. And I got my healing drone. That was a medic. Take him out.
Friendly control point detected.
So since I'm a tank, You saw my work. All right, guys. Stop the cap. Like, subscribe. Keep on gaming. Peace.